The Western Conference Finals are tied at 1 game apiece thanks to our Game 2 victory on the road. And now we head to Vancouver. We head to Rogers Arena for Games 3 and 4 today. Over in the ECF, Boston has just taken a 2-1 lead over the Cleveland Cavaliers, so the 1 seed over there is currently leading, and we're going to hope to avoid that in this series. Before that, though, I have made a couple of adjustments, and I'll show you guys what I mean by that. So in our Spurs game plan, I have bumped Payne from 33 to 38 minutes in the game. I've put Vanderbilt from 31 to 34, and I bumped Anderson up to 40. He was at, I believe it was 37 or 38, so a couple minute boost for those guys. And I did bump Zubats all the way down to 3. I bumped Carney down by 3 minutes, and I bumped Bol up to 21. And I'll show what the rotation looks like right now, that this is what it looks like. So Payne's going to play the entire first quarter because I did notice that, especially in Game 2, Gordon played the entire first quarter as well. So I'm trying to avoid having Gordon out there without Payne out there. But if they're going to play him for 40 plus minutes, I'm not sure that Payne has the stamina to not get tired in crunch time of these games if he has to play that long. So Bol also being 7'2" like Payne and being a good defender and a good rebounder, I'm going to put him out there because I feel like he could provide a lot of good stuff, especially at center. And he also is a much better offensive player than Zubats is. Bol can knock down shots from all spots on the court, so to have him out there would be a huge offensive boost. And Vanderbilt has been great on the glass. He has put up some really good numbers through the first 2 games, so I felt like it was worthwhile to give him some more minutes in Game 3 and going forward beyond that. So that's what I did. Anderson's going to play for the first 15 minutes of the game. He'll have a quick break, and then he'll play the rest of the first half, and he'll play the first 7 of the third quarter. So that is the game plan, at least rotation-wise. And for our defensive adjustments, we're going to have tight on-ball pressure, moderate on-ball pressure, and for all screens, except where Payne is guarding Calvin Gordon as the hedge defender, we're going to switch everything. Our shortest player out there on the court with our starters is 6'5", and the smallest player we have on the court would be Pollard, who I believe is 6'3" or 6'4". So I'm not worried about a mismatch with him because he's not really going to be out there with guys who are taller than him, especially when they have guys like Josh Christopher out there or Hickson off the bench, for example. But we're going to switch pretty much everything off ball, everything on ball, unless it is Calvin Gordon. And in that case, we are going to instruct Payne to just stay attached the whole time. We're going to have him just completely track down Shadow Gordon as he was doing before. And we're no longer going to have Vanderbilt matched up against SGA because it didn't work in the first 2 games. And I think it's better if we can just switch guys around because Vanderbilt can lock down other players that aren't SGA. So I feel comfortable if we can lock down their role players or their more low-level starters. I think that could be a huge boost to our chances to win. And some folks wanted to see the advanced stats for the playoffs. Unfortunately, the sorting function here is kind of messed up because as you can see, I'm trying to sort by the highest PER, but it is only showing Zion despite Luka having a higher PER. And it's not really going in order, so I can't really show you all the top dogs without scrolling down a little bit. But top guys are going to be Tyrese Halliburton with 25, Shea with 0.1 lower, Garland was at 23, but I guess I'll focus on guys who are still in the playoffs. So in that case, it's going to be Luka at 30.2, who's the highest. Calvin Gordon nearing 28. Looks like nobody else from... Oh no, Garland, yeah, 23. In terms of efficiency, Calvin Gordon's top of the line. Luka's up there. So you're seeing those guys pop up. Anderson has 27. Halliburton's got 33.5, which has got to be like top 5, top 6, somewhere around there. In terms of game score, Calvin Gordon and Luka lead that category. And down here, Anderson at 22.2, Garland at 25 for game score. Anything above 20 is considered outstanding, and Calvin Gordon is, him and Luka are nearing 30, which is just incredible. In terms of the estimated wins added, again, the sort function's not really working here, but I believe Luka has the highest at 4.5, which does make sense because the Celtics have only lost a handful of games, and he has been putting up some great numbers here in the playoffs. Calvin Gordon's got 3.9. I think Anderson's got just below 3. 2.2. Halliburton's got 3.0, so he, according to this advanced stat, has been our best player on the court. Keldon Johnson, I was unable to locate when I first checked this before I recorded. But Keldon Johnson also has taken a lot less shots in the first 2 games, and as a result is scoring a lot less points than he was in the first 2 series of the playoffs. So that has been a huge shift in the offense. That's pretty much why we have scored lower than 120 in both of the games compared to the first 2 series. So gotta make sure that we get him involved. And yeah, so those are all the changes, all the stat updates. So here we go. Game 3. First one at home in the WCF in team history. Here we go. Same starters as last game. Let's go. The fans in Vancouver welcome their team back home for their first appearance in the WCF on their home court. It's the first Spurs road game since their previous series, and they have not lost a road game so far in the playoffs. They're 5-0. We are 5-1 after our Game 1 loss. But we'll see what happens here at home as Halliburton splashes one from the top of the key to get the scoring started. And he had that dagger 3 to end Game 2 as well, so having him pull the trigger and knock shots down from beyond the arc is going to be key to this matchup. Josh Christopher draws the foul on the drive attempt. It's the first one on Tyrese. And Christopher hits both free throws to put the Spurs on the board. Halliburton gets inside, gets by Randall and scores. Randall trying to attack Vanderbilt, and it works this time. Anderson gets the feed. Open look from 3. Offline. Shea trying to put the moves on Keldon Johnson. It's not going to work yet. Got the switch to Payne. It's blocked. And a mismatch for Payne on the high post. He's going to throw it up over Murphy, and it's off the mark. Try to go with the left hand there. That's not really his shot. They want to feed Randall against Keldon Johnson, but he passed out immediately. Shea, fadeaway 3. That's not going in. Keldon Johnson rips it down. Vancouver leads 5-4 through the first 2 minutes and counting. Anderson cuts and gets the pass from Halliburton for the easy buckets. There's his first points. Alexander steps back, got it over Vanderbilt. Nice shot. So far in the series, 26 points per game, 4.5 boards, 6.5 assists, putting up some really good numbers through the first 2 games. We hope that will not continue, but it is very hard to stop the star players, as both teams have found in this series, because the stars of each team have really stepped up as Payne comes out of nowhere for the tip-in. And he is blossoming into a star for us, is he not? Shot clock reaches 5. Winding down, Alexander has to jack it up. Halliburton's there in his face, and Payne pulls it down again. Solid stop right there on defense. Vanderbilt, what was that pass to Keldon Johnson? He knocks it down. That was like an over-the-head pass. That was kind of sick. Alexander trying to go to work against Halliburton. He takes him down low in the paint, and will lay it in for the bucket. Anderson cuts. Vanderbilt slings it to a nice pass. He's got 4. Alexander had it poked out, but he hangs on to it. Under 10 on the shot clock. Vanderbilt, good defensive positioning. Alexander attacks. Bucket plus the foul. What? I didn't see anything of the sort there. What are you talking about? That was clean. It was a good shot, but I'm not sure about the foul call. Halliburton finds a lane, fires and hits over Randall. Way to use the pick and roll again. He's got 7 points so far, 3 for 4. Alexander has it jarred loose. Halliburton ends up with a steal. Anderson against Josh Christopher is blocked, and Calvin Gordon gets it back. Bad shot by Anderson right there. Got to do better in transition. Murphy for 3. That one falls. And the lead is cut to 2. Screen from Payne. Halliburton on the move. High arcing off the mark. Again, those kind of shots on the move are not high percentage looks, so looking to avoid that as Alexander gets a very high percentage look off the dime. And now it's all tied up at 16. Anderson waiting for Payne to come over. He won't even fire off the screen. He'll just fire right in his face, and he hits the shot. 34.5 points per game through the first 2 games against the San Antonio Spurs. He's had a great offensive start to this conference finals. Josh Christopher finds Gordon at the rim to once again tie things up. Vanderbilt, the screen, Anderson hands off to him, but they cover it well. Back out to Halliburton. 5 on the shot clock. He hands off to Payne. He is fouled on the shot by Alexander. That is the first on the Spurs. First free throw is off the mark. It is quite the adventure at the charity stripe whenever Payne rolls up there, because you just never know. And he ends up going 1 for 2. Gordon finds Hickson uncovered. Tyrese, what are you doing, man? The Spurs are in front. All right, it's critical for us to understand what happened here to figure out maybe if there's anything that we can do to fix this. So Gordon gets the pass from Poku and whips it immediately to Hickson. And it's really because Sanders right here, number 45, sets like a pseudo screen. Like it's not even like a real screen. He just kind of gets in the way of Halliburton just for a second, which makes him hesitate. But Halliburton is playing so far off, which is not what I told us to do. I told us to play moderate. That is a gap that he has left open for Hickson, who has been good from downtown, especially in game 2. So, gotta do better there. Might have to switch to tight off-ball defense here if this keeps on happening. So I am going to make that switch real quick. Tight off-ball pressure just to make sure. And we are going to jump ahead to the second quarter where we have 10 minutes left until halftime, and the Spurs have a 5-point lead with the ball. They outscored us 39-31 in the first half, or the first quarter rather, as Pollard is called for his 3rd foul already. What's going on, pal? It seems like our defensive adjustment against SGA is going even worse this time around. That's their first field goal of the quarter, but another and one chance puts the Spurs up by 8. Currently have Zubats out there who's playing pretty much the only stint he'll have until further notice. Just a couple of minutes until Payne is ready to come back in. Halliburton got the switch to Gordon, finds Anderson wide open in the corner for 3. You can't leave that guy open there. I'm going to keep my eye on how we cover SGA as Randall's 3 is off the mark, because you might have to end up putting Vanderbilt back to him and just seeing if that works this time, because if the switches don't work, then you got to find something that will, as Anderson jams it in off the feed right there. He's got 16 points through 16 minutes of action, 64% shooting here in the first half. Alexander slips by Halliburton, easy buckets. Yeah, it's things like that. He just has some nice dribble moves, and Halliburton's not the best on-ball defender. Halliburton back to Bol. Chose not to shoot. Finds Anderson instead for the long 2. That's not going in. Way too high. What is going on here? Zubats guarding SGA. Jesus. He fires on the move and hits again. All right, we're about to bring in Vanderbilt, but he's got 16 points, so I am going to make the adjustment. Because Van is about to check back in, it's actually going to be easier for us to do this. So let's make the change. Go back to him. We're going to put Vanderbilt on him, and we're going to have him stay attached. And then we'll bring up the ball, and I will call timeout so we can bring in Carney and Vando. All right, we'll see if that helps at all. I hope it does. We inbound to Carney, who checks in along with Bobo, Pollard, and Halliburton out there right now. Carney for three. Back iron. He definitely has not shot the ball as well here in the conference finals as he did in the first two couple of series. So I really hope that he can find his range from downtown, because if he can't, might have to maybe put in somebody else, as Christopher finds an open look, and we're down by 9 all of a sudden. They've shot 69% to our 52. Halliburton finds Pollard in the corner, but he passed up the shot. Bobo sets the screen. He'll fire from the X off the glass and in. The bank's open today, folks. We got Randall trying to go ISO against Halliburton. It had it jarred loose for a moment, but he hangs on. Shot clock reaching 5, and now it's there. Vanderbilt guarding SGA. The step back is offline, and we get the stop on the first matchup of those two. So that is a good sign, but a small sample size. Halliburton, long 2, off the mark. Randall gets below the rim and misses the dunk. That was a lucky break there for the Woodsmen. Can we capitalize and score buckets? Don't fade away. Bobo, find somebody else. He lost the ball. Now he can fire. It's off, and Gordon pulls it down. That was a terrible possession right there. And Payne is about to check back into the scores table as Gordon launches for 3 and missed it. And Carney gets the tip rebound. I haven't seen Gordon take many threes to this point in the series, which is honestly a good thing, because I would rather him just work in one area of the court than several, right? Pollard, backdoors cut, and he got the feed from Bobo for the buckets. 5-point game. 3 of our starters ready to check back into the next dead ball. Kind of want to get them in earlier if we can. And we're going to, thanks to a charge against SGI. I thought for sure it was a block on Pollard, but he turns the ball over. Great work, number 16. Anderson, Keldon Johnson, and Payne check back in. Keldon Johnson throws it up. Reverse lob from Anderson. Fantastic pass. Alexander steps out of bounds. Vanderbilt stayed in front and had to make him think twice about his dribble move. We take over again. 2 straight turnovers by SGA. Looks like this Vanderbilt thing might be working here in Game 3. Payne is fouled by Gordon, and he got the bucket too. The free throw will tie it up. I didn't love the shot choice there, but he hit it, and he got the foul too, so guess what? I don't care anymore. The free throw is good. We are all knotted up at 49. A 9-0 run by the Woodsmen to close the gap and tie things up. The Spurs got to talk things over. 4.5 to play in the first half as Christopher draws the second foul against Halliburton. He will head back to the free throw line for a few more free throws. And he goes 2 for 2. Spurs back in front. Wait, we're 2 for 6 from the charity stripe? What the heck? It's a home game, fellas. Halliburton somehow knocks it down in the face of Calvin Gordon. Had 10 points in the first quarter. Definitely has a few more here in the second. Double screens for Shea. He will launch from downtown, but no dice this time. And if we score here, we are in front for the first time since the first quarter. Anderson cuts, and Payne throws it right to Gordon. He read the pass. On the other end, Josh Christopher hands off to Shea. He steps back and fires a long 2, but once again finds back iron. And Payne comes down with it. Halliburton to Anderson, wide open at the rim. How did that happen? Trey Murphy. Back out to Shea. Had the open three and just passed it up. He's scared to shoot. He hands off to Gordon. Triple. Offline. Lucky for us. That was another open look. Vancouver leads by 2. Gordon's got 12 so far. 5 for 10. Has not shot well from downtown. Anderson cuts again. They can't stop this. And one. That's the first on Josh Christopher. We're outscoring the Gordon-led Spurs in the paint. You would have never thought that, would you? Free throw good. Vancouver leads by 5. A 16-2 run, at least to this point. Trying to keep it going to close the half. They bring in Orlando Batista, along with Tommy Sanders and Dustin Hickson. And Sanders scores immediately. Slipping by Payne, and it was a nice feed from Batista as well. Payne comes over. Halliburton gets rid of Hickson for a moment and hits the 3. 6-point game. 17 here in the first half for Tyrese Halliburton. Several assists under his belt as well. Under 2 to play. Batista out of a shot finds Sanders. Tough layup, but he got it. 4 for 5 start for him. Halliburton to Anderson. Open 3. Online. We're catching fire to end the half. And we have crossed the 60-point mark. Hickson attacks the basket, and Anderson was too slow to catch up. Both teams floating around 60% from the field, and we've had more shots than they have thanks to some offensive rebounding and just some good stuff in general. Nice find to Keldon Johnson, but he just missed it. You got to hit those open looks. That was a great pass by Anderson. The 5-point game. Hickson has it jarred loose by Anderson. Poku lost the handle, but he gets it back. Now is a mismatch. Batista, the triple. Of course they get a bucket out of that. Lost the ball twice, and they end up with 3 points. Unbelievable. That'll cut the lead down to 2 with 30 seconds left. Halliburton back to Payne over the head of Sanders. Somehow finishes through the contact. I have no earthly idea how he scored that. He was not even looking at the rim at all. Batista, or Hickson rather, what is that? That's the most ill-advised Jordan Poole shot I've ever seen. Last play of the half, Anderson deep shot. That is an equally horrible look, and he airballed it. But Vancouver leads at home 64-60, a high-scoring affair in Game 3. But can we keep it going in the second half? We'll find out soon. 6:33 to go in the third quarter. Vancouver has the ball, and it's now tied up at 80 apiece. Halliburton can't hit the lefty shot off the glass, and the Spurs are back with it. Gonna watch the rest of this third quarter and probably the last 9 or 10 of the fourth quarter, as it'll probably still be a pretty close game. This series was always going to be close, I thought, so I'm not really surprised that neither team is really pulling away in any capacity whatsoever. But the Spurs just got back out in front. We are in the bonus for the rest of this quarter, so we'll see if we can draw some fouls and get a couple of free throws. We do have Boble in there right now playing power forward. Anderson is going to get called for a 3-second violation. Yep. Pokusevski taking Keldon Johnson down low. Will he fire, though? No, we'll find Batista instead at the axe. Offline, Payne pulls down the miss. Let's get a bucket here and try and spark some offense, perhaps. Keldon Johnson draws the foul. Okay, there's something there. Let's hit the free throws, though. First one is up and good. And Keldon Johnson hits both. 82-82. They got Sanders playing power forward, I think, and they got Poku at small forward, so there's probably going to be a size mismatch somewhere for us because of their height right now, as Gordon gets the feed and a monster jam to keep the Spurs in front. 18 points for him, 8 for 14 from the field. Bobo comes over. Halliburton won't fire. Had Bobo wide open for a second, but just completely missed him. Payne sets the screen. Halliburton spins, goes to Payne. His fadeaway lefty shot is off. Again, that's not a good look. I was shocked that he hit the last shot he took in that same kind of realm, as Hickson takes a horrible look as well. Some poor shot selection the last couple of minutes. Gordon Johnson sees a lane around Gordon. Circus shot. Nice little lefty scoop. Anderson stays attached to Hickson. Let's not let him get the switch. Sanders working on Bobo, wants to take him inside. Then he passes back out. Time counting down, Hickson launches, and this time it's online. The Spurs just won't let us take back this lead right now. Under 4 to go into the fourth quarter. Vanderbilt heads to the scorer's table. Gordon Johnson wants to attack Poku now. He'll fire, and it's blocked. He gets back to it. He fires again and missed. Left it short. Just a few feet from the rim. Spurs back with it. Batista readjusts but missed it. Anderson gets the stop. Payne gets around Hickson. Easy layup plus the foul on Poku. Not a smart foul right there. He was not going to stop this freight train. The free throw is good, and we are tied up once again as Pollard and Carney both check in. And Vanderbilt heads back to the bench, it seems. Okay. We're going to keep Bobo out there with Payne. Batista back to Calvin Gordon. Couldn't stay in front of him. Gordon Johnson, the screen. Pollard goes back to him. He hops, steps around the defender, and lays it in over Sanders. Nice ass move right there, man. He's showing some more signs of life on the offensive end here in Game 3 versus the first couple of games. Hickson, a bounce pass to Sanders, once again scores. He's been a pretty big threat off the bench, and we have shot pretty poorly here in this third quarter. We had like 57% shooting at halftime, and we're down to 51. Payne, line drive, hits back iron. Double screens for Hickson. Carney stays with them, but he can't stop him. More points for Hickson, who has really been good off the bench, just like in Game 2. 5 for 7 for him. Payne tries the mid-ranger again, and it won't fall this time either. That was another well-contested shot, and he has only shot 20% here in the quarter. After, what is that, a 4 for 5 first half? Hickson to Batista for 3. Come on! It's always the role players, man. It's always the role players. 7-point lead now for San Antonio. Pollard takes the screen, has a decent look, but he missed the jumper. Now our shots just straight up are not falling whatsoever. And the Spurs are trying to finish this third quarter on a run before we get to the fourth. That would be a pretty crucial development here in this game. Gordon, that's not going in. Gordon Johnson, given a chance for a 3-ball and making it count. That'll cut the lead back to 4. Hickson hands off to Poku. Over to Batista. Spurs can't find an open look right now. We're staying in front. Sanders has to force the issue. And he hits the shot. Where did you come from, man? He had a hand in his face and everything. Hitting shots from all over. I'm sick of this guy. Carney, oh, come on. Why do you have to catch it all the way out there? 98-92. The Spurs have a 6-point lead with 12 minutes to go. We got to use our home court to our advantage. We're going to win this game. We sim ahead by about 2.5 minutes with the Spurs back underway with the ball. Up by 3, 104-101. As Shea lost the handle. Payne can't get to it. If they get points out of this, oh brother, I'm going to be pissed. Christopher for 3. He missed it. Oh, it's about to go ballistic. 9 minutes to go. A 3-ball will tie it up. Payne attacks the rim. Bucket plus the foul on Red when he's fouled out of the game. But does that mean that Tommy Sanders will check back in at power forward? I really hope not. It's Gordon who comes in instead. Definitely worse than Tommy Sanders. But can Payne cap off the three-point play? It's at a couple of these and-one opportunities here in Game 3. And he's made the most of them. It's tied at 104. Clean slate for both teams. 9 minutes to go. And it's pretty much 0-0. Best team wins, just like in Game 2. As Vanderbilt is called for his second foul. Christopher has drawn like all their fouls, man. It's actually unreal. It's all he does. At least his third trip to the charity stripe that we have watched. Probably a couple others that we've missed. Both free throws are good. Halliburton takes the screen from Anderson. Takes it baseline. Anderson's open for three, and Halliburton finds him. Nice dime. And Vancouver takes a 1-point lead. We got to get these fans all rowdy and up on their feet. Got to make this place loud. Jay guarded by Vanderbilt. Time counting down. He finds Poku for a three. Of course. The response. Their role players are just elite three-point shooters, man. It's unbelievable. Screen set by Payne. Halliburton trying to answer back, but that's a bad shot. Gordon pulls it down, and Vanderbilt takes it from behind him. We're back underway. Down by 2. Gordon Johnson finds Halliburton trying again, but no. And Gordon tips the ball all the way over to Poku, who pulls it down. 27 here in the game for Halliburton, but has not hit a three in the second half. And that's probably got to change because he'll probably take some more of those as Christopher gets to the rack. Anderson's got 31 apparently, 13 for 24, and Christopher has only missed 2 of 6 shots. So he's taken some good shots and has made the most of those opportunities. Halliburton has an open mid-range jumper, and that one's off too. You got to start hitting these shots, man. We cannot allow a Spurs run here in the quarter. Gordon sets the screen. Christopher penetrates, and everyone's too late to rotate. Spurs now lead by 6 points, and we just can't slow them down. 64% from the field. We are only in this game because we have taken 11 more shots than they have. Halliburton misfires again. He's just jacking shots up right now, and they're not falling. Frankly, a stop right here is crucial. If they score here, I mean, we're going to have to go on a run of our own. And Christopher can't knock it down from beyond the arc. Under 6 to play. Vanderbilt attacking the mismatch. You can't miss the layup. He pulls it down, though. Okay. Let's hit a shot now, please. Anderson. Baseline jumper. No good, but Payne's on the offensive glass. Finally, we get something to fall. And the Spurs will now call timeouts. Poku. Back to Gordon for 3. And Payne actually fouled him. Are you joking? Give us a break. I'm not going to lose to Steve Nash. I refuse. 3 free throws for Gordon. He's not going to miss any of them because he's a really good free throw shooter. Second one's online. What a disappointing foul. It was a bad shot. And, of course, regardless of their basketball IQ, they're going to get points out of it. It's infuriating. Gordon Johnson rolls over, gets the feed from Hallie, but won't fire. Anderson will instead, and he knocks it down. We're double teaming SGA. I can't control this. We are lucky that Poku missed that shot. Please never again. Do not double team anybody on their team right now. It's a 5-point game. We don't need to. Anderson cuts. Blocked by Gordon, and of course they end up with the ball. If we get blocked, they get the board. If they get blocked, guess who gets the board? Still them. That was a bad shot, though, and now they got Gordon down low. Gordon Johnson was trying to come and help, and Trey Murphy hits the 3. This is why you don't double team. We now pretty much got to go on a run similar to how we finished off the first half as Anderson sprawls out for it. He's going to roll out of bounds, and it's off of us. Give me a break. Murphy inbounds to Christopher. He fires and scores, of course. We're down by 10 with less than 4 to go. 18 points for Christopher. I'm sick of this. The defense does not look good. They've shot, like, what, 65% now? I'm sure it's going up. Anderson almost blocked, but he somehow got it to go over Calvin Gordon. Stops are the catalyst. Like, we have to win this game by getting defensive stops, and we don't get one here either. Christopher's carving us up. Keldon Johnson. Stutter steps and fires, and he missed it. Payne somehow comes down with it. No idea how he got that. Halliburton lobs it up for him. It's tipped and it's stolen. Christopher missed the shot, thank Christ, but it's still a 10-point game. We can't do shit right now. Payne, mismatch against Trey Murphy. He spins and fires. Just back him down. Why does he do this? It's the one thing that bothers me about Payne, man. He just takes dumbass shots sometimes. Like, if he just backs him down, we're not down by 10, and we still have the ball with a chance to close the gap even further. I just don't get it. Keldon Johnson to Anderson. Shot clock at 5. He'll fire from 3. That's not going in, I can tell. Payne comes out of nowhere for the board and just throws up a wild one, but this time it'll fall. Still a bad shot. But 2 minutes to play, we have to lock down. It's the only way. Off the screen. Jay just blows by everybody because we're trying to keep Payne attached to Calvin Gordon. 63% shooting for the Spurs. We've taken 14 more shots than them, and we're going to lose the game. That is incredible. Also, I literally have our defense to go under those kinds of screens, and Vanderbilt just chose to go over like I'm not the coach. And one opportunity for Halliburton. It's the 5th foul against Pokusevski. And the free throw was good. That's the first good thing he's done in the quarter. Another screen from Gordon. Vanderbilt goes over. Like, dude, pay attention to what I'm telling you to do, brother. At least he missed the shot. Game's not over yet. A bucket here makes things really interesting. Halliburton gets by Shea and hits the shot. He's got 5 straight. The 5-point game. Another screen from Gordon. This time we do go under. And look, he stays in front, and he stepped out of bounds. He turns the ball over. You see what happens, Vando? Just do what I tell you. Halliburton almost turned the ball over. Like, what was that pass? That was a terrible idea. In the corner now. Off the screen. He is blocked by Gordon. Why do we consistently challenge him? It's not going to work. We've done it so many times. Why? Just a waste of a shot. 44 seconds left. We just got to keep our heads down on defense. Again. Now we're double teaming guys now, and Gordon had just an open look. Simple as that. It's back to 7, and we're pretty much out of time here unless we put together something spectacular. Anderson in the corner for 3. Offline, and that's the game. Oku will put us to sleep here with that layup. Dime goes to Alexander, and the Spurs will stay undefeated on the road here in the playoffs. And we are going to lose another home game. We're going to foul, but I mean, dude, there's 4.6 on the clock. Just let us move on. Like, why are you giving them more points? So they, like, fucking look better? I don't know. Free throws good. Why are we calling timeout? Finally, the buzzer sounds. I am ready to move on to game 4. We're going to put this game behind us. That was a very frustrating second half, I gotta be honest. Especially defensively. Like, we weren't good in the first half either, but we were somehow worse in the second half. The fourth quarter, we were absolutely awful as well. The first and fourth quarters, especially in this game, were just atrocious. We apparently get Keldon Johnson back into playoff form against his former team, but guess what? It didn't matter because the defense was terrible. Payne was 4 for 10 at the charity stripe. That was a huge difference. He was the guy who missed pretty much all of our free throws. So, having a bad day from him at the line when he gets the most free throws out of anybody in the game, that's bad. Halliburton shot horribly in the fourth quarter until those last couple of buckets, but by that point, we were behind by like 7 or 8 points. So, I mean, our top 4 guys, as you might expect, overall, they all played well, but that was on the offensive end. On defense, not really. Payne only had 2 blocks, no steals. We had 3 steals, 2 blocks in total. Only 6 turnovers, but like not what we're used to on defense, and maybe it was the adjustments. I'm not really sure. Bol didn't even score a point in 23 minutes. Are you serious, dog? Come on. I put you out there for that long for a reason. You're playing half the game. You gotta start hitting some shots. Carney just refuses to get back into regular season form. Let's check what he has done game by game just to see the comparisons. 2 for 6 in game 3, 2 for 6 in game 2, 3 for 8 in game 1. Prior to that, he only had really 1 poor game in the playoffs, except for the first game against the Clippers. This is potentially very bold of me to do, but I think that I kind of want Todd Graves to come in place of Carney. Carney's not the best defensive player, and he's not providing offense right now. Todd Graves takes less shots per game, and he's a very good on-ball defender. And he gets steals, he gets blocks, and he just stays in front of guys. I think maybe you give a guy who has recovered from poor morale after being down in the G League for most of the year. Maybe you see what he can do. I just want to see what he can do. Give us 1 game. It's at home. Maybe he'll, play better on our home court for the first appearance. Otherwise, I'm going to keep things the same as they are in terms of the rotation timeline. But yeah, we're going to give Carney's minutes over to Graves and see what happens, because defensively, we need help. The offense was good, so it's defense that needs to be adjusted. All right, a few more adjustments here. Gonna permanently go to tight off-ball pressure, and we're gonna do on-ball rotations for on-ball screens. I just want to see what it looks like in the first quarter, and if it's not working out, then we'll go to maybe going back to switching some stuff. But some of these, like, it's gonna be hard for us to adjust without actually seeing it unfold. So we're gonna still switch guards off ball, but I still want Vander to be attached to SGA, so I will make that change right now. And for drive help rules, I'm just gonna go back to automatic because clearly what we tried was not working. I'm gonna keep Payne, the same kind of stuff on Calvin Gordon, and we're gonna go back, of course, to putting Vando on Shea. We're not gonna assign Todd Graves to anyone specific. I just want him to lock down whoever he's on. Whoever is nearest to him, I want him to lock him down. So there you go. I think it's rare for us to lose 2 home games in a row, especially in the playoffs, and this big of a moment, but anything can happen, and we have to win this game. If we don't win this game, we are on the ropes. We're trying to tie the series up. Anderson's first shot is up and off, but Payne's there on the glass for 2 to open the scoring. 17 points per game and 13 boards in the playoffs, shooting above 60%, as you might expect from a guy who mostly shoots right at the rim. Josh Christopher gets around Anderson, but he missed the layup. Keldon Johnson hands off to Payne. Position over Gordon. No, but he goes back to Keldon Johnson for the layup. Keldon Johnson, after a rough first 2 games, bounced back last game with 23 points. We'll see if he can keep that up in game 4. I feel like it's going to be important. Christopher left open by Anderson, but he missed the shot, luckily. Still don't know why he was given such a big gap right there. Trying to stop that from happening whatsoever, but I guess can't fix everything, can you? Halliburton for 3, no. Murphy around a couple of screens, finds Shea. He shovels a pass to Gordon, who gets the first bucket for the Spurs, and also the first foul against Vanderbilt. Nice display of passing right there by the Spurs. Free throw drops. It's 4-3. Vando comes over. Anderson hesitates. And then goes back to Halliburton for an open jumper, but he skied it. Halliburton to Randall. He's wide open. Vanderbilt! First of all, why was he not guarding SGA in the first place? And he just left Randall wide open. Keldon Johnson flies in for the jam on the other end quickly. 6-6. Alexander penetrates, then goes back to Christopher for a long 3. That one is off. In the screen, Halliburton. Open look, got it. He falls to the floor. Some contact there from Gordon after the shot, but no foul called. Christopher back to SGA. They're trying to use this play to their advantage, but I mean, it's worked a couple of times, but not that time. Because of course we stopped switching everything, and now they're going to go to that because switching everything was what was stopping that play from happening in game 2, despite their offense still clicking. Anderson backdoor cut. Halliburton missed him. He goes top of the key for a 3, but that one hits back iron. Alexander at the baseline finds Christopher. He's wide open. He's literally nobody within a mile. I have to see this. I have to understand what happened here. Was it Keldon Johnson's fault? No, because he's guarding Randall. And Vando is supposed to be guarding Alexander, which he does. Has to get around a screen, though. And it's really Anderson. He runs over to help who? I guess because he sees that Gordon is setting a screen here off ball for Julius Randle, who just set one for Alexander. So he is coming over to try and help. And he literally goes more than 50% across the court. You just can't be look how much of a gap there is. This is a practice shot. Come on, man. How do I stop this? I don't know. Do I stop the pre-rotation? I'm not really sure. I hope that does not happen again, but you probably got to expect it against this team and with our team. Payne comes over and sets the screen. Halliburton on the move. And it goes out of bounds before Payne can get his hands on it, of course. Double screens for Shea. It's the same play over and over again, but now it's Murphy taking the shot, and he missed it. Wasn't a bad look either. Anderson cuts. Vanderbilt finds him. We love that play because it keeps on working. Off the screen from Gordon. He fires, and he missed it. That was SGA there taking the shot. Vanderbilt stayed with him that time. It's good defense. Same play as last time, but this time Randall's in the face of Anderson, but it doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. Uh-oh. Randall going ISO against Halliburton because he got a size mismatch, and that's just easy too. Keldon Johnson finds Vanderbilt. He was open, but he's not a shooter. Halliburton goes to Anderson. Shot clock down to 5. Anderson fires at the elbow. Cash again. It's 14-11, just like it was in Game 3. Randle attacks again. It's blocked! Halliburton just blocked Julius Randle. Poku checks in at power forward, as this time Halliburton does not even really put up a hand in the face of Alexander. Batista heads to the scorer's table for San Antonio, as Pollard heads to the scorer's table for us. Anderson cuts, Bobo finds him. Another easy bucket. They can't contain these off-ball screens, and they're all being set in the high post for him. So far, they have not made the adjustments to it. They did last game in the fourth quarter, which is why we got blocked so many times. It was 24-24 after one, so not the highest scoring, but the highest scoring game here in the series. But Vancouver leads 34-32 with 7 to go in the first half, as Graves almost got a steal. Gonna see what his defense can bring, as SGA putting the moves on Vando, but it doesn't matter. Payne comes over to block the shot. They didn't see a lot of help defense last game, and that's because I was trying to see if avoiding helping on drives would stop them from having those open looks on the wing, but it didn't. And another shot misfired by Alexander, lucky for us. Back with it. Really hope Graves does not take a lot of shots here, but I guess we'll see. Payne backing down Murphy. Spinning shot. This time will knock it down, but please God, just get as close to the rim as you possibly can next time, pal. Murphy, long two, answers right back. Payne the screen. Halliburton gets down low and finds Graves open in the corner for three. He's not a three-point shooter. Randle fires over Payne. How? Come on, man. This free throw will put the Spurs back in front by one. It's good. Zubac checks in at power forward for about 3 minutes, and then it'll be done for the day. Halliburton for three. Got it to go. We're back in front. And with this lineup currently in, we're going to have to heavily rely on him, Keldon Johnson, and Don Payne, because Zubac and Graves are not going to provide pretty much anything offensively unless Zubac gets a board or two on defense. But Alexander hits the tough shot on the move, and it's all tied up at 39. Graves off the screen. Don't shoot this. He will, and he missed it, as you might expect. Couple of screens for Murphy. We cover it well for the most part until Zubac lets Gordon slip by. I leave you in for 3 minutes, Zubac, and you have already let Gordon score. And also, why was Payne not guarding him? Come on. We got number 5 at the scorer's table as Halliburton misfires from downtown. I really hate how many shots we take off screens and just immediately fire. Those aren't the best looks. We can get better ones. And we do have Zubac still guarding Gordon. Like, why? Just ran the same play and would have had the same result if they would have made the pass, but this time Randall will score instead. And just like pretty much every other game in this series, they are shooting better than we are. Only 42% for the Woodsmen. We still don't even have 40 points. There's 4 minutes to go until halftime. Graves, stop shooting, man! Come on, you're in there for defense. Murphy hands off to SGA. Now Christopher, long two. Missed it. Up ahead to Graves. He sees a lane. He attacks the rim. Pump fakes and he won't fire. Halliburton. Over Gordon. No. Like, what is that shot selection, brother? What are we doing? Oh, here we go. Here we go with the mismatches, man. Murphy hits it from 3. 7-point game. before we even watch one more play, I just have to do something. Like, I thought I did this earlier, but apparently not. We need to go into the playbook. If I can find it. Assign plays. Where is Graves? You're just going to have no plays, man. I thought I gave you no plays last time, but apparently not. No plays for you. You're done. Was it a mistake to bring him in? Still unknown, but so far, not impressed. We called timeout and we brought in Keldon Johnson and Anderson. Or was it just Anderson? I forget if Keldon Johnson was already in there, but Payne gets the feed and readjusts at the rim around Calvin Gordon. Nice work. We finally break the cold spell. And the defense locked down to end the half. SGA out of a shot to Randall wide open. Good God almighty. Keldon Johnson to Graves. He almost thought about pulling the trigger. Thank God he didn't. Keldon Johnson will instead. That's a much better look. 12 points for him here in the first half. Trying to get back underway on the offensive end. Keep his playoff consistency going. Randall trying to put the moves on him. Can we lock this guy down? We cannot let Julius Randle beat us. He's got 15. Who do I put on him? All of a sudden, he just comes out of the fucking woodwork. Halliburton. Monster jam. 6-point game. 13 points on 11 shots. Under 2 to go. SGA. Dude, I'm gonna fucking lose my shit. Was game 2 just luck? Pollard to Anderson. He takes the screen from Payne. Open 3. Missed it. We gotta hit the shots. Murphy for 3. That one's off. It's a 9-point game, though. You have a minute to make up for it. Come on. There's a mismatch down low if we can get to it. It's Payne against Josh Christopher. Anderson wisely passes to him, and Payne scores. Alexander for 3. Nothing but the bucket. They have lit us up from 3 every game. Graves. Christ almighty. Like, you don't even have a play drawn up. How does he possibly get a play for him when I took off all plays? At least Payne was there on the offensive glass. Was it actually a mistake to bring in? Bobo, you gotta block the shot, not foul him. I gotta stop complaining. I'm just gonna get even more upset. Let's just hope that the second half turns things around for us, because the Spurs seem to have done that in both games 1 and 3. If we can't do it, we just don't deserve to win the game. So I'm already just looking towards the 3rd and 4th quarters to get us where we got to be. Pollard back to Payne, open mid-range jumper, and yeah, there's just a lid on the rim for us. We can't hit a fucking jump shot to save our lives. Screen from Gordon. Alexander fires a very long 3. Back iron. And the first half is over with the Spurs ahead by 10. The defense still unable to find what we did in the regular season. And the offense now below 50 points. Start to the 3rd quarter of Game 4. It was a very frustrating first half, to say the very least, and that's because Julius Randle, of all people, is the one carving us up. Last game, it was Josh Christopher and SGA and Calvin Gordon. But today, it's mainly been Julius Randle, and then SGA has had some buckets, but, I mean, look at that. Look at that defense. I say go under, we don't go under. Anderson got the switch to Gordon. There's a mismatch with Payne. We're going to use the pick and roll. Halliburton will just attack himself. Over Alexander. He missed it. You have to hit that. That is You just have to. Christopher, long 2, it rattles out. Vanderbilt pulls it down. Odin Johnson gets by Murphy off the dribble, and he missed the shot. It wasn't the best look, but come on. And great. Mismatch. Like, why is Payne not guarding Gordon? How did we not switch that? You had plenty of time. 14-point lead. Halliburton to Payne from the elbow. Got it to go for our first third quarter points. Couple of screens. Alexander. Just Vanderbilt's nowhere to be seen, man. These double screens. How do you guard that? The only way for us to do it is what was last game, which was us just switching everything. That was what worked to stop that specific play. Because they've gotten like 4 different kinds of shots out of that exact same setup. So I got to make a couple of adjustments once again. All right, so we're going to keep ourselves... Actually, no. We're not going to switch anything off ball. It's going to be auto. I just want to see what can BJ Cooper draw up that I can't. Maybe he's a better coach than I am. That's honestly probably true. All right. Let's see what happens. 65-51. Definitely need to just put together a run. That's all that needs to happen here. Halliburton draws the foul on Randall, his first. And I hope this crowd can somehow help us out. We cannot lose 2 home games in a row, man. We cannot let them walk in here with a 1-1 series after us pretty much getting rid of home court advantage for the Spurs. We can't waltz in here on our home court and lose twice in a row. We just can't. And Payne to select Gordon, get behind him. Thank God it's not a and one, though. But it pretty much wipes away the free throws that we just took. That's fun. But both drop. It's back to 14. Anderson cuts. Payne goes to him. Why'd he pass out of that? You're so much bigger than Josh Christopher. Payne is just going to find Vanderbilt for a 3. Like, oh my God. What a wasted possession. Anderson made a huge mistake. Trey Murphy on the other end. It's down low. 42% shooting. Once again, we've taken more shots than the Spurs. They have just shot so much better than we have. Odin Johnson feeds Halliburton quickly, and he scores at the rim on Hickson, who has just checked in for San Antonio. So they give Alexander a early break here in the third quarter. But Hickson has been a key role player for them, so it kind of makes sense. Randall trying to work on Vanderbilt. Can he get the stop on him? Yes, but Randall gets the board. Screen. Oh, no, not a screen. Gordon just comes over just to get the ball in the high post. He goes to Christopher, who has to jack it up. Cash. Odin Johnson shrugs off Murphy in for the finger roll. Nice work. He's got 14 points. Still looking for a string of defensive stops. Christopher finds Hickson. I just can't figure out how to stop that play. That double screen play is gonna kill the team. Keldon Johnson scores again. But if I can't stop that play, if we can't stop that play, we will not win. They have used it like 33% of the time. It's their go-to. Gordon, top of the key. That won't fall. And of course, Payne called for a loose ball foul. We can't get anything going our way. Not even on our home court, which is crazy. So Payne checks out early on. Bobo checks in. Randall off the screen. Vanderbilt still on him. Blocked! And now we actually get the ball. Odin Johnson wants to work on Murphy again. Off the glass and out. Shot clock at 5. Hickson to Randall. Back to Hickson. Has to force the three. He missed it. He barely scored here in the third quarter. Actually, he scored 10 points. But even still, that's not good enough. We got to score like 30 in the quarter if we want to come back in this game and win. Shot clock winding down for us. Don't tell me Vanderbilt's the one going to shoot this. No way. I'm actually incredibly shocked that he just hit that. Hickson gets down low. Got Pollard up in the air. Spins and scores. Where did Hickson come from, man? Like, of course, we're shooting better here in the second half, but so are they. Just can't make things happen when that's the case. Bobo the screen. Anderson for three. Line drived it. Gordon pulls it down. We're not getting good looks. Like that was an open look, but you gotta hit that. If he's not gonna hit those, nobody else is. Poku drives and scores, and we're down by 18. Anderson, bucket plus the foul. The second on Christopher. Well, that sparks something. Could only hope. The free throw is good. Batista checks in, as does Tommy Sanders at center. Gordon moves to power forward, and we have a mismatch right there on him, for God knows why. Put Bobo on Gordon, man. Poku's going to try and go to work either way. Over Anderson, bucket plus the foul. Everything we try and do, they have done it better. And it's kind of a similar story as to the Minnesota series last season. Sometimes the height they bring off the bench is just too much for us. We just don't have it. Like, we have Bobo, but like, honestly, he has not contributed whatsoever in either of these games that he's played in. For three, look at this. He's missing the shots. What? Like, those are the shots that he's out there to hit. So we're just not getting as good of play from our role players as we have, or as the Spurs have gotten. Like, look at Batista. It's just game one all over again. Oh, and yeah, we just threw the ball right to San Antonio. Keldon Johnson thinks he's still on the Spurs, huh? All right. Fair enough. I think I'm good here in the third quarter. Let's simcast and see where things are at in the fourth. See if there's any possible chance of us winning this game. We have thrown it in the middle quarters. And looks like it's not going to happen. Not enough time left. Spurs win by a lot. Ah, man, we have regressed pretty significantly, it seems. And Braves 1 for 9. Didn't see him get any stops. We were 9 for 34 from 3, man. What happened to our 3-point shooting? Anderson really has not shot the ball well from 3, like, at all in the playoffs. Like, he shot well overall, but, like, look at these. 2 for 7, 4 for 11, 1 for 8, 5 for 15. Had 2 games right here that were good. 0 for 7, 1 for 7, 3 for 9. Like, dude, if he's not gonna shoot well from 3, I can't expect anybody else to either, can I? Keldon Johnson once again puts up 20 plus, but it didn't matter because Anderson and Halliburton just shot below 50%. Don Payne was good for the most part. Pollard barely saw what he did. Graves, I don't know what the hell I was thinking. Do you guys see what I was thinking? You know, defensive stops. Hopefully he won't shoot. I even took off all play calls for him, and he still somehow gets the ball in his hands. He really should not. He should not touch the ball on the offensive end. He should be let alone in the corner, frankly. But no way to do that. Bobo has done nothing offensively that I thought he would. So that hasn't panned out. And, yeah, the defense has not been able to play any good defense at all against this Spurs team. They have scored at will. I think this was their lowest scoring output of the series, and it's 114, which is really good. That's still pretty good, man. Calvin Gordon, 24 and 13, SGA, 29. Like, these guys no longer have to put up like 30-point games to win. Because, I mean, Julius Randle was scoreless in the second half, but it didn't matter. He put them in front at the end of the first half, and that's all they needed. We had no shot of making a comeback. So, that was definitely something. And they just keep on hitting those open looks. They keep on getting more open looks than we do. We just had our worst offensive game of the series on the back half of 2 straight home games. If we can't win a home game, like, we're not gonna win a game when we're on the brink of being kicked out of the playoffs on the road. I just really don't think we're gonna win Game 5. But if you guys know how to prevent that double screen out on the wing, they get looks in the paint, they get looks at the elbow, they get looks wide open from behind the arc, which is back at the wing where they set those screens initially. If you guys know how to stop that, let me know, because I've tried a couple of things and clearly it's not working. Nothing is. So if you guys have any defensive ideas, feel free to drop them down below, because at this point, anything that is a last resort, we have to go to. We have to win 3 games in a row to force our ticket into the finals. So anything is up for grabs as far as I'm concerned. But what just a shitty way to end, man. Those 2 games were incredibly frustrating. I don't think I got that mad in Game 1, but here they sure got to me. I think I hate the Spurs now, but that's all right. I've pretty much come to hate every team that gives us problems, so that's just how it goes. Thanks for watching, though. Please like, subscribe, and again, comment your ideas down below on who to bring in, who to take out, and adjustments to make. And I'll see you guys in the next one for Game 5 and, you know, Game 6 perhaps if it comes to it. That's all for me. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.